So, just got back from seeing the preview. Well, I guess you could say special premiere of Terminator Genisys, and oh boy, this film is really hard to talk about because I can't talk about it without spoiling anything. That's the big problem here, is that I can't really talk about this film without spoiling a few things. Also, before I go any further, you're probably wondering why I'm not using like a movie image and why several of my old movie reviews were taken down. Probably because YouTube was being a dick, and the whole copyright thing had to take them down. So from here on out, whenever I do movie reviews, I'll just use a different image because I just don't have you guys just come here to listen to my voice, so I guess it wouldn't matter what image I put up there as long as it's relevant to the subject. So yeah, getting back on track with this. The big thing with the Terminator Genisys film is that, again, like I said, it's really hard to talk about this film without spoiling something. It's not like with Jurassic World, where you can look at, Jurassic World, you can do some stuff, but there are some spoilers there, but not really a lot that would make you go, oh my god, you ruined the movie for me. With this, it's like, oh, god damn. So, having said that, if you do not want to hear because I wanted to do a non-spoiler one, but I just, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, god damn it, I can't talk about this film without doing spoilers. So, if you do not want to be spoiled on the film, just, go back, hit the back button or pause it or whatever, go out and see Terminator Genisys. I will say this. It's an okay film. It's a lot better than, I like Salvation. It's alright, but it's, the two films, T1 and T2, those are the all-powerful films, and this film tries a little too, even though it tries a little too hard to be like those films, hell, tries to, cancel out those films. It is a good summer film. There's some great action scenes, and there are some good moments. But some of the Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator once again. It's really it's really good to see him. He's awesome in every scene. Jai Courtney is Kyle Reese. Ah, boy, he was boring. Emily Clark, you're great. Emily Clarkson is a fantastic actress, but she doesn't get a lot to do here as Sarah Connor, and it was just kind of, again, she wasn't given a lot to do here, and she has no chemistry with Jai Courtney, and I think that's more Jai Courtney's fault. Jason Clarke is John Connor, and the stronger Terminator. I like that, and I like the story going on with him. I'll also say, because I think we all kind of predicted this. I think we all predicted the role of Matt Smith. Yeah, he is Skynet. He is the embodiment of Skynet. I don't think that's a spoiler because we all kind of predicted, because he was going to be in this. He was going to have a major role in this, and apparently they're going to make more Terminator films in this continuity. So they said that Matt Smith would be in the whole trilogy, and I was like, he's going to be Skynet, isn't he? So here we are. So I'll say that. So that's as far as I'll go in non-spoiler. I'm gonna give this this movie a 3 out of 5 because I'm being gracious. And there were some good action scenes here and there, even though the characters weren't that. Jai Courtney wasn't that great as Kyle Reese, and there were some other things that just didn't work out. And I'll explain the spoilers. But yeah, on a whole, just an okay film. Not bad, not great either. But anyway, that's as far as the non-spoilers go. So if you do not want to be spoiled from here on out, please hit the back button now. Or, pause it or whatever. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to do that. Okay, so if you're still here, I guess you saw the movie or you want to get spoiled. This film, the time travel in here makes no... You see, here's the big problem with Genisys, that I think when you look at it in Jurassic World took, the people behind Jurassic World took a step back and said, you know what, we cannot compare with that film. But we're going to do something that is good, that references the classic film without trying to be the original film. It doesn't try to be it. It just has a few little references here and there, and doesn't want to touch too much of Jurassic Park and just do something fun in that universe. I think that's what made Jurassic World work so much. Here, however, that the story is a little different in Terminator Genisys because it completely tries to negate the two films. Because obviously in this continuity, a Terminator was sent back further to 1973 to protect Sarah Connor when she was young and train her, as well as tell her everything about, Kyle Reese and the machines and all that. So Kyle Reese is totally thrown into this position where he has to be with this woman, and God, they just bitch back and forth, and the romance, the quote-unquote romance between them just does not work. Oh my God, that was painful to watch. But like I said, Arnold as back as the Terminator once more. It was really good to see him. I thought they had some really good moments with him. Although he does feel like more of the supporting character this time around. Yeah, he does feel more like a supporting character. And you could say, well, wasn't he more of the supporting character in T2? Not necessarily. He had a prominent role in there, and he had great character development. And here, he's just like, I go smash things and make fun, and make funny jokes here and there. So I was like, okay. Kind of relegated to T3 right at that point, but having said that, though, it was just kind of fun to see Arnold back as the Terminator. The thing with John Connor as the Terminator, because here's the thing, they bring in the T-1000 played by Brian Young Lee, and there are some. I will say this movie knows how to do some action scenes. Especially when they bring in Brian Young Lee as the T-1000, there's some great moments with him, but we don't get a lot of him, and we're left with John Connor as now this new upgraded Terminator who he's kind of like, the best way I could say it's like a machine version of Noob Saibot. That's the best way I could describe his kind of style, is that he's kind of like a machine version of Noob Saibot from Mortal Kombat. And the time travel doesn't really make sense because there are some things in here that you need to see Terminator for, and T2, like the whole thing with Danny Dyson now in charge of Dyson, and to which I'm like, wait, he was just a kid in that point, and they even say his father was killed, and I was like, wait. That would have to mean they would have to go back to 1997, and they were about to, but they did instead because John Connor somehow, finds memories from an alternate timeline of himself, and he convinces everyone to go to 2017. So they're now in the year 2017 instead of 1997 to officially kill Skynet, which is at this point known as Genisys, and will eventually evolve into Skynet on a more higher level rather than just military. And yeah. So John Connor's now now the Terminator, now the hero for Skynet, because Skynet at this point had lost the war, but it came in a final form in basically Matt Smith, and assimilated John Connor and used him to set it to protect it when it became Genisys. The problem is that we don't really know how it became Genisys from that point on, because it was still in infancy during T2 and then brought back in T3, but it looks like this film negates Rise of the Machines and Salvation. So yeah, it pretty much knocks Salvation and Rise out of continuity, so if you didn't like those two films, feel honored. It also feels like it negates the other two films, so this is a completely new territory we're dealing with here, and yeah. it has its moments here and there, but yeah, it doesn't it kind of misses the mark here and there with, again, it just feels like there wasn't enough for Emilia Clarkeson, and, Jai Courtney wasn't just that, he was just uninteresting as Kyle Reese, but I feel like Clarkson, who, obviously, she has some acting chops behind her, obviously is Daenerys in Game of Thrones, and Arnold, even though he wasn't given much to do, that's kind of expected. He's obviously the Terminator. But yeah, getting back, because I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it feels like they were trying to do so much at once. That's what I'm trying. That was my biggest issue, is that they were trying to do so much at once to kind of do what Days of Futures Past did for X-Men. But I feel like with that, it was kind of like necessary cleanup, because we had a lot of bad more than good out of X-Men at that point. So, I feel like this was more like, hey, we're going to do a whole new, this is going to be the all new, all different Terminator universe. And it was confusing because there were obviously elements of T2, but they said, nope, T2 didn't happen in this continuity. Okay, but obviously you needed T2 elements from Judgment Day to, make this work, and that didn't really make sense to me. The other thing of the whole thing with a Terminator being sent back to protect Sarah is never explained. I'm guessing if they manage to get enough support to do a sequel, they'll explain it in the following sequel. But yeah, for here, you never get the explanation of the Terminator that was sent back to, who sent the Terminator back to protect Sarah from the T-1000 and train her for the future. It's never gone into explanation. Again, maybe they'll do the same thing the Insidious series does and kind of explain it from there. I don't know. All in all, like I said, not a bad film, but not a great film either. It just felt like it was trying to do too much and try to be like the next it tried to be the next T2, which it misses the mark at. But having said that, though, it's not a bad film. I think if you enjoyed Terminator, you'll enjoy if you enjoy the Terminator films, you might enjoy this. The action, like I said, the action scenes are great. There are some, good moments here and there. I also felt like J.K. Simmons was kind of wasted in here. He was a wasted character. They don't really do a lot with him other than play this cop who who in 1984 was rescued by Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, and then he's kind of grown up to be, looking for time-traveling robots wherever he could go. And they don't really do much with him, sadly. But I was like, oh, you wasted an Academy Award, an Oscar-winning award, an Oscar-winning actor. But, oh well, what can you do? It's, all in all, not bad film, but yeah. It's not much, like I said, this movie's really hard to talk about without bringing up spoilers. Anyway, so you guys tell me, if you guys managed to see the film, what did you guys think of it? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.